Surviving a werewolf, a farmer's dark secret. The chilling sound wasn't new, but tonight it felt different. It was a low, guttural growl that vibrated through the very foundation of my isolated farmhouse, a sound that promised raw, untamed savagery. I clutched the old hunting rifle, my knuckles white, the cold metal a stark contrast to the clammy sweat on my palms. Outside, the wind howled, whipping leafless branches against the windows, mimicking the internal storm raging within me. A shadow, far too large and agile for any wolf, flickered past the kitchen window, a fleeting, monstrous silhouette against the pale, gibbous moon. My breath hitched. It was back. My name is Noah, and I am 43 years old. I've lived in these remote woods, a good 50 miles from the nearest town, my entire life. My days are usually filled with the rhythm of the seasons, planting, harvesting, tending to my small flock of sheep. A quiet, solitary existence. Or so it was, until 3 months ago. That's when the screams started. Not human screams, but something far more primal, echoing from the deep woods. And then the disappearances. First, a neighboring farmer's prize cattle, then his sheep. The local sheriff, a good but unobservant man, blamed a particularly large pack of timber wolves. I knew better. I'd seen the tracks. Not wolf tracks. These were massive, clawed, and sometimes, sickeningly, bipedal. It started subtly, like a whisper in the night. Small movements in the periphery of my vision, the feeling of being watched even when no one was around. Then the attacks on my own livestock began. I'd wake to a terrible commotion, a cacophony of panicked bleats and a terrifying, unearthly snarl. Each morning brought a gruesome discovery, mangled carcasses, bone-shattering injuries that no ordinary predator could inflict. The fear gnawed at me, a constant, icy companion. One particularly stormy evening, as rain lashed against the windows and thunder cracked overhead, I heard a shriek from the sheep pen. My heart leaped into my throat. I grabbed my rifle and ventured out into the tempest, the wind trying to rip the coat from my back. The flickering beam of my flashlight cut through the oppressive darkness, illuminating a scene of sheer horror. One of my largest rams was on its back, its throat torn open, and hunched over it, a creature of nightmare. It was immense, easily 7 feet tall, covered in coarse, matted black fur. Its form was disturbingly humanoid, yet unmistakably bestial. Its head was a canine nightmare, elongated with razor-sharp fangs bared in a silent, savage snarl, and eyes that glowed with an eerie, malevolent red. Its paws, ending in foot-long claws, were stained crimson. This was no ordinary wolf. This was the black scary werewolf of local legend, a monstrous entity I'd dismissed as campfire tales. It didn't speak, it just radiated an aura of pure, predatory evil. Its presence was a palpable, suffocating weight. It looked up at me, its crimson gaze locking onto mine. There was no intelligence in those eyes, only a hunger, a primal, ancient bloodlust that sent a cold shiver down my spine. I squeezed the trigger. The rifle roared, a pathetic sound against the storm, and the creature shrieked, a sound that was more human-like than I ever wanted to hear. It recoiled, a dark stain blossoming on its matted fur, and then, with astonishing speed, it vanished into the driving rain. The following weeks were a blur of terror and paranoia. I fortified my farmhouse, barricading windows, reinforcing doors. Sleep became a luxury I couldn't afford. Every creak of the old house, every rustle in the woods, sent me into a frantic panic. The attacks on my livestock continued, though less frequently. It was as if the creature was toying with me, a sadistic game of cat and mouse. One moonlit night, I awoke to the unmistakable scratching at my bedroom window. My blood ran cold. I peered through a crack in the curtains, my breath misting on the glass. There it was, its massive, clawed hand scraping against the pane, trying to find purchase. Its snout was pressed against the glass, its glowing red eyes staring directly into mine, a chilling, silent threat. It was an image burned forever into my mind, pure, unadulterated evil personified. I knew then that my farm, my home, my life, had become its hunting ground. I was trapped, a lone man against a relentless, supernatural force. I tried to leave, to pack my truck and flee, but as I made my way to the barn, the creature emerged from the shadows of the ancient oak, blocking my path. Its snarl was a low rumble in its chest, a clear message, there was no escape. I was its prey, and it relished the hunt. The final confrontation came on a night of a full, blood-red moon. The air was thick with an unnatural stillness, and a heavy fog rolled in, obscuring the woods. I could feel its presence, closer than ever before, a suffocating dread that tightened its grip around my heart. I was in my living room, the rifle by my side, when the front door splintered inwards with an explosive crash. There it stood, framed against the swirling fog, an embodiment of fear itself. Its black fur seemed to drink the moonlight, its massive frame filling the doorway. The red glow in its eyes intensified, fixing on me with an unwavering, predatory focus. It let out a low, terrifying growl, a sound that promised a slow, agonizing end. This was it. The culmination of months of terror. I raised my rifle, my hands trembling, but a strange sense of calm settled over me. There was no more running, no more hiding. Only survival. The black scary werewolf lunged, a blur of fur and muscle. I fired, the shot echoing deafeningly in the confined space. It shrieked, a sound of agony and rage, but it kept coming. Its massive claw raked across my chest, tearing through my shirt, leaving a searing trail of pain. I stumbled back, falling to the floor, my rifle clattering away. The creature was on me in an instant, its hot, foul breath washing over my face. Its fangs gleamed in the dim light, poised above my throat. I could feel the immense weight of its body pinning me, the sheer power of the beast. There was no escape. Only the terrifying, all-consuming darkness of its shadow. The last thing I saw were those burning red eyes, filled with a triumphant, malicious glee, before everything went black.